In a world of incompetent bosses, micromanagers, and petty tyrants, you are listening to The Leadersmith.
So this is episode 3, and it's kind of interesting because a lot of people turn podcasts into blog posts. This is actually the opposite. About 2 months ago, I wrote a blog post on my webpage. It's daringerdes.com, DARINGERDES.com. It was called The Coronavirus Continuum and Your Business. And this was just before everything shut down for the quarantine. And I was thinking, wow, I'm already seeing signs here of everything that's going on. And so I created kind of this continuum from awesome to scam. So awesome, interesting, and in the middle was useful and kind of information, and then spam or scam at the far end. And so I was looking at it and I was thinking, like, wow, I see all these offers by businesses who are trying to be relevant. As you know, there are very clear signs that we're getting close to something bad. And so there were some that were like in the middle of the continuum. You would see either useful or information. So useful were things like, okay, 7-Eleven sends out that, look, we're trying to keep our stores clean. We're still open, but you can't use your refillable coffee cup. Okay, if I was a 7-Eleven customer, maybe I would want to know that. It maybe I don't need that, but okay, I get how that could be useful. Something that's just information. This is on the negative side. It's just information. I don't know if I need to do anything with it. Is like Chick-fil-A, who reminds us that they're following all CDC guidelines, as if they're going to operate outside of it. Or a bunch of rent-a-car sent out a notification to my email saying we're cleaning and sanitizing our rental cars. Well, I would hope that you were doing that before. So in the center, there's useful, like 7-Eleven, and then there's information, which is not really that useful, but they're trying to stay relevant. But okay, I get it. You need to stay in business. And then if we take a step either direction, a step toward better, which is interesting. So an interesting one would be like something that I really want to know. So I wanted to know whether my local YMCA was open or not. I want to know, well, what's going to happen with my church service, or are we closed, or when we close, are you going to do something live, or how's that going to work? And so I read those much more readily. On the other hand, on going the other way on the continuum, there were spam, and spam were, we never liked spam in real life, but I got, offers from certain organizations like, because of this crisis, we're going to offer you this. Well, it wasn't any better than any other offer that you had at any other time, or it was taking advantage of the crisis in order to put out your promotion, and that just felt icky. Just don't do that, right? And then if you take all the way to the end of the awesome continuum, awesome offers were good offers that were actually capitalizing on it in a positive way. So, for example, you may not have heard of Zoom meetings before a few months ago, but now everybody hears about Zoom meetings because Zoom went all in, and they said, hey, K-12 schools, if you are going online, which everyone was, you can have a free site Zoom license until the summer. And so they were providing a valuable service. Microsoft did this with Microsoft Teams and other versions of their software, and there were a number of organizations that followed suit, and they were given. So it was great because every business wanted exactly what happened with these kind of offers, which is I want to give free samples of my wares to as many people as possible. And you had captive audiences literally for many of these products. So this was a good time for organizations like Peloton and others that were going to be cleaning up while people aren't going to the gym. I noticed walking around in my local Walmart that there were no weights on the shelves anymore. Like that section had gotten cleaned out. Certain stores will benefit at the expense of others. And so that free trial awesomeness from Zoom is counterbalanced on the other hand, unfortunately, by on the other side of the continuum, the scammers. And there are people that are already scamming, sending links about help this charity or that kind of thing. And so the whole purpose of this, looking at the continuum, was looking at where are you with what you're going to be doing. And again, I wrote this just before the shutdown. And so in hindsight, it's really interesting to see where are you from awesome on one end to scam on the other. What are you offering to your people? And so in retrospect, it's really easy to take that kind of continuum and think about, well, what have we done, or what have we seen, even if our organization hasn't done anything? What have we seen on that continuum? Was the offer awesome, interesting, useful, or did we cross over into just information, or worse, spam or scam? So that was the idea of the coronavirus and you. I hope that's helpful. And as we're coming out of this crisis now, we really want to think about what it is that we're going to be doing as we're picking up the pieces, and what kind of offers we can present. And there are many organizations that have done well in the middle of this kind of crisis because they can shut down. I'm a professor. I can just put my classes online and we can roll. But if you were a masseuse or a martial arts organization or some kind of, you have to be hands on. You're just shut down. So what kind of offers will come back now and help you rehabilitate what you're going to be doing? Do you overly incentivize people to come back? And if so, is that going to put a kink in what you're going to be doing? You have to really be thinking about that now, as we're just starting to emerge from the quarantine. What's the new normal going to be like? If your business relies on heavy traffic, are you going to be able to operate that way, or are you going to have a new model? At any rate, the coronavirus and your business was an interesting way of just kind of understanding what you should be doing. And my final point in that was, look, try to be something awesome. Try to provide value. Whatever it is that you're going to do, add value. And that was one of the tenets that we talked about with power in the last episode, was add value. So I always try to end these with a quote, some kind of quotation for contemplation, something that you can think about and really chew on and mull over. And the quote that came to my mind with this was Seth Godin. I've read, I don't know, 20 of Seth's books. He's written prolifically. And Seth Godin said, not adding value is the same as taking it away. Not adding value is the same as taking it away. Now, I'm not sure that I'm totally convinced that that is true, but it's pretty close if it's not. I mean, there's something very, very true about it. If you have the ability, there's a scripture verse that says that if it's within your power to do good and you don't do it, to you that's sin. Right? Same kind of concept here. Seth's getting at. If you have the ability to add value and you don't add value, it's like you're just withdrawing what you could be doing. And so I want you to think about that in terms of your business. And if you do, you're going to enrich the lives of others, and you're generally rewarded for that.